Story time before we start this video. So this may seem like a kind of a dumb story, but I just wanted to talk about it because I thought it was kind of cool. I walked in from work today, because I grabbed like a few little things from the shopping store and all that stuff, and ended up getting Uncrustables. It's been so long since I've had Uncrustables. I love Uncrustables. They really are just something special. Anyways, and my audio is really ooh. Let's hope that works. Anyways, so while I was murdering some Uncrustables, I look over at my window in my kitchen, and there, right there, sitting on my kitchen window, is a huge, and I mean huge, yellow jacket. I mean, the thing was like, I want to say like about that big, so like about like the size of my eyeball, and I got some pretty big eyes. Pretty eyes. No, just kidding. Anyways, I saw this YouTube video pop up a long time ago called, I think it's called Just Joshing or something like that, where this guy wanted to have a wasp or yellow jacket nest inside his room, and have his own yellow jacket population thing inside his home, kind of deal. And so he's done that multiple times, and I always noticed he always used honey. Like, he always put like honey on his finger, and then he'd like put it up to the yellow jacket, and they would like legit like start like licking it and like get on his finger and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to kill the yellow jacket. I don't like just like murder. I had the jet spray, the freaking foaming jet spray. That thing instantly kills too. That thing could have been a goner. But so I was just like, you know what? Let me see if I can catch him and bring him outside. So I'm like, let me try his little technique with the honey. Put a little honey on the end of a butter knife. I put it up there. I'm not gonna put it in my freaking finger. I gotta test this theory out before I actually try it. You know, that's the way I see it. So I put the honey on the butter knife and stuff, and I bring it up there, and sure enough, like, it's like legit. Like, that is so legit. Like, yellow jackets love honey. Like, it literally, like, it even like I brought it up to it. It didn't like try to like swarm me or anything like that. It just like, I slowly brought it to it, and it like looked. It's like, oh yeah, I know that, and it just like started eating it. And I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy. Eventually, I got like a mason jar, put it over, and then it got angry again and stuff. And then I put the thing, and I brought it outside, and it flew off and stuff. But it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. Anyways, so we got a chills video. It's been a while since I've done a chills video, and this was released, I think, like 8 hours ago or something like that. So we're gonna jump in and see if these 10 scary videos will make my breath manually. Make you breathe manually. That'll make you breathe manually. I don't know. I'm dumb. Anyways, it's late. Anyways, jump into this.
Some videos are so terrifying that you may catch yourself holding your breath. Number 10, emergency landing. Imagine recording a selfie video after an emergency landing in the Pacific Ocean. That's what this pilot did in August of 2019 when 2 aircrafts were taking part in an aerial photo shoot.
That lady kind of looks like somebody I know.
Of an emergency landing in Half Moon Bay near San Francisco. One of the planes, a single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza, malfunctioned, losing power. Video footage from above caught the landing, which was an admirably safe one, according to the pilot that managed to stay in the air. The downed pilot, David Leash, and his passenger both survived after Leash set the plane down nicely in the water. Leash then captured the aftermath of the incident on video while standing abroad the wing of the plane and later hanging onto pieces of floating items like seat cushions and window shades to help the pair tread water until
She kind of looks like one of my friends from Florida. Like, I feel like that's her, but not really. Oh, oopsies. I brought it back. I don't want to bring it back. Let's go back. Oh, damn it! Stop! Just play the
Spirits,
video.
all things considered, managed their best to stay afloat, although David notes the water is quite cold.
Water's a little bit cold, but we're all right. I set it down real easy.
No one got hurt.
No, we're good. Did everything right?
Thankfully, overhead, his fellow pilots sent mayday calls to the Coast Guard, alerting them to the incident. Still, the pair were risking hypothermia in cold water for around 40 minutes by the time a Coast Guard helicopter that was on a training mission arrived. David continued filming as they were being airlifted out of there. Although they certainly were lucky, they didn't make it out pain-free while waiting. They'd been repeatedly stung by jellyfish.
Ooh,
Number 9,
that sucks.
Claustrophobic hole, published.
Damn, so like while you're like, oh, we almost died by an airplane, you're getting attacked by jellyfish. That's terrible, man.
To YouTube in December of 2019, Brandon Gross writes, "My friend Danielle took me into one of the craziest caves I've ever seen. I'm very bad with tight spaces and decided to face my fears. Would he live to regret it?" The footage follows the pair squeezing into a tight slot. Holding onto a rope, they descend into what can only be a claustrophobic nightmare. As the underground cave gets tighter and more suffocating by the minute, the cave widens and narrows, but at one point, Brandon notes that the space into which he intends to squeeze is only as wide as the length of his foot. Slithering through the caves, they finally reach the bottom cavern. When they start to continue exploring the claustrophobic corners, Brandon experiences a
Oh my god, that's making me feel so freaking uneasy. Alright, I'll admit I am very claustrophobic. I mean, there's been many cases I'm like stuttering because I'm like freaking out just watching this. But there's been many, I've had many situations where I've been like forced to like go through like claustrophobic kind of things, like at work where I had to squeeze in small areas and stuff like that. At certain jobs, I've had to squeeze in small areas or being confined in small areas. I've had that happen multiple times, and like it's just one of those things. Like when it comes to work, I can deal with it because like I kind of just put my mind I just focus my mind on the job instead of my fear. But if this was like outside of work, like I'm gonna freak the hell out. And that's the thing, there's been a lot of people that have died in situations like this because they couldn't calm themselves down enough. And like when you're constantly like freaking out, like you expand or something like that, and they get stuck and they find the people dead and stuff, or the rock formations move and trap you, and then they find the people dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're just stuck, and they wait until that person's dead, and then they pull them out later. There's been situated, at least that's from what I've heard in other videos. Anyways, this is making me feel uneasy.
Brief panic attack, but continues on. Seeing his friend Danielle wriggle ahead as she navigates further restrictive spaces would make anyone squirm, and squirm Brandon does, but he manages to make his way back to the light. When at last Brandon squeezes his way out of the hole, he celebrates being free from that claustrophobic nightmare. Number 8, waterlogged. Are you heading out to a seaside restaurant tonight? You might want to reconsider. Published to YouTube by Ed Haddon in March of 2014. They wrote, Jill Freeland, the artist and videographer, was having breakfast this morning at Moby Dick's with her family and got a little more sea salt than was on the menu. The footage shows the restaurant overlooking a stormy gray sea. While the customers await their meal, they helplessly watch as the waves take on a life of their own. They probably...
Wait, is this like in a boat, or is this like onshore, just like in the water kind of deal? Because like if it's onshore in the water, then it's understandable that because I'm like thinking like I don't know, like I feel like they're in a safe environment, but it's still like kind of freaky. Like you think that the water's gonna bust through the window at any second, but they probably like expected stuff like this with how close the restaurant is, so they're probably like the glass is probably reinforced or something like that. But that's still yeah. Yeah, like oh cool, let's have some breakfast and get freaking waterboarded at the same time, like. Jesus Christ.
Think they're safe inside, but boy, are they wrong.
Maybe it's... The water did bust through the
Water
window.
crashes against the window and glass shatters as the spectators scream.
See, that's something that's on the restaurant. They should be prepared for anything to happen, including like water busting through a window like that. They should be prepared for stuff like that. All that glass should be reinforced, like 100%. That's on them. That is so on them, dude.
Someone calmly says, "Time to go," and
Time
the
to
customers
go.
are
I
told to
would've said
leave the
the same thing.
restaurant, which
All
they
right,
do
I'm out.
without argument.
See you later.
It appears that no one was hurt in the incident, but they certainly saw firsthand how indifferent Mother Nature is to brunch. Number 7. Help me. Baby monitors sometimes capture that which we don't even know is there. This creepy clip.
Whoa. I feel like there's something. Is there something like under here? I'm sorry. I was actually also like checking out the yoga pants going on. Yoga pants are a blessing.
Clip was posted to r/ghosts by Zealous Idea.
Not trying to be a
Call
pervert, but
53. It shows a monitor placed in a child's bedroom. The baby is playing while her guardian appears to be on her phone. All is normal until you turn up the sound. A growl of a voice snarls "Help me" 3 times in a row at the beginning of the video.
What?
Neither the baby nor the young woman in the video appears to hear the voice. Is it crossed wires with a nearby baby monitor? Did someone hack the monitor's sound? Or is it an EVP capturing someone beyond crying out?
that's what I believe is somebody hacked the sound, because I've seen videos where they've done that, where they've hacked baby monitors and they've like freaked out people on them, which is really messed up to do that to a baby monitor, but some people just don't have any empathy and they're freaks in nature.
For help, the Redditor explains in the comments that this isn't the only strange occurrence in their house, and that paranormal events have regularly been happening since she was pregnant. The Redditor writes, "We've had another incident with her nanny cam and seeing a black shadow near her, an orb, and her suddenly waking up screaming. I've had issues in my own room with the feeling of someone watching me, breathing on my neck, severe night terrors, and missing items that
Just pointing out, if you see me keep looking back and forth. All right, so this is me looking at the video, and this is me just checking out how it's going. Now, I was having issues on my camera like for like 15 minutes, which is it took me a little bit to start recording because I was having issues with the focus. I just keep kind of checking back to make sure it's staying focused and being polite and nice to me. Sorry about that.
suddenly
I just wanted to stop and just like explain like while I'm like like Jim carrying it.
return. Does this give more credence to the presence of a paranormal entity? My answer is yes. Number 6.
Oh wait, actually, you know what?
Crowbar Lurker.
If the kid didn't hear it and let's say set it up, it might be set up and they're like, oh, I'm just act normal, and maybe the kid was just like sitting there like looking at it because the kid heard it and the kid was trying to talk back to it. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it.
Better safe than sorry. This video proves that saying couldn't be more true. A mother in Cork, Ireland was threatened via letter by a former work colleague. In fact, he was watching her, and CCTV footage caught her terrifying ordeal on camera.
At least he's being safe and wearing a mask when he is threatening people. It's like, I'm gonna threaten this person's life, but let me be safe first and just
camera after someone had painted her car tires pink and put X's and O's on the car's windows.
That's
as well as
creepy.
the message "I win." The homeowner, Una Ring, installed a CCTV camera outside her home. It captured her work colleague posting a menacing letter to the windshield of her car. What it said was so disturbing I can't say it here. Thankfully, a civilian police force known as Guardians of the Peace of Ireland were made aware of the lurker's threats and were surveilling Una's home. What followed?
I am gonna say like one thing, like nothing really scares me, but I will say like after seeing a lot of the Purge movies, like home invasions do freak me out a bit. I'm not even gonna lie. Home invasions do freak me out.
Escalation. He came around Una's with a crowbar in hand and was caught on camera approaching her property. He was also discovered to be in possession of rope and duct tape. The suspect was confronted by the protectors and was taken into custody. Una says she owes her life to them. The creep was given 5 years behind bars for his actions.
Good.
Number 5, Phantom Theater.
Justice was served. That's good.
When performing at the theater, more often than not, you hope to entertain, but some audience are not very lively. Originally published by YouTuber Phil Koch, this footage shows a paranormal investigation. While exploring a haunted theater, Phil kicks back in his theater seat, sitting alone in the dark room. A wide shot shows no one in the aisle behind Phil. The row is entirely empty. Little does he know he's in for more than a show. Watch the seat to his left behind him. While sitting there staring forward, the seat shudders back and forth, as if someone pushed it down to sit but then decided against it. Although he couldn't have seen the movement, the sound sends Phil fleeing the scene, likely without any desire for an encore. Perhaps this entire theater is reserved for the passed on, and he and his paranormal team disturbed a packed house. But another investigation by Phil is gaining much traction in the Spanish-speaking community. While investigating, this door opens right in front of him, and people are claiming to see this figure.
Where?
Again. And we'll take a look.
Oh, right there?
What do you think? I just know I wouldn't be going anywhere near that building. Number 4, Prison Screech.
That's pretty cool, but it kind of looked like he used his foot to kick the door open, and that could have been a prop that he set up in the back. Just my personal opinion.
We may have just discovered the soundtrack to your nightmares. Published to YouTube by Column A in June of 2019. This clip shows a young man in a prison cell, no context given. He speaks to the camera and, in the midst of his monologue, he gives a strange, otherworldly shriek like a velociraptor. Why? Well, YouTubers have a wealth of hypotheses. For example,
God. I used to do like when I was doing like metal vocals, like when I do practices and stuff, I used to do that kind of shriek too. But like it was like so loud that like everybody's like, all right, chill out on. I used to torture people with that.
Lord Woody thinks that the man is sucking the soul out of the cameraman. I just know if I were in this situation, I'd be getting the heck out of there. Number 3, being followed. Do you feel like someone's pursuing you? Then you should probably trust your gut. Published to YouTube by Upbeat Yamaha in February of 2019.
See, I like. See, the houses, well, actually, on this side, the houses are kind of close. But on the other side over here, it didn't look like houses were, like, right on top of each other like they are, like, practically everywhere. It was just, like, a house over here. It looked like there was some farmland and stuff. That's like, ideal. Like, where, like, if I was to ever move from where I'm living, which I probably wouldn't because it's just... It's a small area. It's a small place I live in, but like it's perfect for me because I'm not dating anybody or anything like that. So like it's small, little, perfect space for me. So I love it here. Anyways.
This video follows a motorcyclist minding his own business on the open road. Wearing a GoPro, he manages to capture a white truck in front of him. Nothing out of the ordinary.
And then the truck starts following him.
The truck pulls over to the side of the road. This too appears innocent enough, but after passing the white truck and later taking a turn onto a side street, seeing the truck continue along, you probably wouldn't expect what comes next. The biker returns to the main road, and the same white truck now a ways ahead pulls over again, letting him pass a second time. The biker starts to wonder what's going on. Even more worrisome, he thinks the truck is following him. He suspects the driver might be trying to record his license plate to report him for something, although he says he hasn't done anything to report. He again pulls over at an intersection and attempts to wait out the suspect, who has stopped as well. The biker says the man in the truck is attempting to wave him on. After a brief face-off, the biker turns to the left, noting the guy's plate number and saying he was taking pictures of him. While the video doesn't come to any concrete conclusion about what the white truck wanted, the biker suspects that he's dealt with the same man before. Some in the comments think it's probably just some angry boomer who's mad about how loud the bike is. Others advise that if this happens again, to pull into a fire station, as they most certainly will help someone being followed. A cautionary tale if there ever was one. For all we know, this lurker could have had even more sinister motives. Number 2, paranormal motors.
And you know what, like, when it comes to sometimes, like, situations like that, you think somebody's following you, but it could be, like, just horrible coincidence. Like, maybe they got a light on or something like that, or something's going on with their tire and they're just, like, listening to it and they keep pulling off because they're trying to, like, figure out the problem. And the only reason I say that is because I used to have a pickup truck, and I did that a couple of times pulling off because I'm like, what is that noise? I gotta figure out what this noise is. And I would keep pulling off to the side, and yeah, I mean, people can probably get the wrong impression sometimes, but he could have been actually taking pictures of the bicycle guy and been being a creep. Could be like that too.
Cycle. What lurks in your alley in the middle of the...
You gotta understand, in this world, there's you got everybody, you know. You got the psychopaths, the murderers, and the people that have no empathy for anything, and people that just want to get angry for no reason and start stuff for no reason. And basically you have a lot of people out there that haven't gotten caught by the cops yet and put into jail yet. You got a lot of people out there, a lot of psychos. I mean, how long did it take for them to get Jeffrey Dahmer and all the other serial killers out there? Granted, our technology is a lot better, but it's still not good enough to get every single serial killer out there. Why do you think there's the first 48 that's going on too? Where like 48 hours hits and they're like, all right, well, the serial killer got away. Screw it. Let's go on to the next one, you know? A lot of stuff like that. I'm sorry to get into like serial killer stuff, but anyways, let's keep going.
Tonight, this video may surprise you. Published to YouTube by Taslock in March of 2021, the security footage was recorded on the 30th of December 2020 at around 4 in the morning. An empty road with a few motorcycles and bicycles parked along each side, still in the darkness, at least for the moment. Suddenly, someone invisible decides to take this bike out for a spin. The motorcycle abruptly pulls out into the road, turning in place. At one point, it slows in its turning, then jerks forward and continues in its path before falling over on the side in the middle of the road. Could this just be something mechanical malfunctioning in the bike? Or did a ghost realize he didn't have enough momentum mid-launch? I've got a challenge for you, since you've made it this far.
Okay, Chills, I know. I'm already subscribed. I'm going to like your thing anyways. But that's something I can't really explain. Because excuse me, because even to get the motorcycle to move like that, like, motorcycles are pretty heavy. I mean, a lot of people look at it like, oh, crowd truck it's machinery. It's got a motor, a heavy motor to propel that machinery around, so it's gonna be heavy. So like, and it's got the gas tank with fluid in it, that's gonna weigh some, you know. It's motorcycles are heavy, you know. But you need to do certain things to get it to start, to even get it to move. So that, I can't explain that, but I'm not gonna say it's a ghost. Like I said, I don't believe it until I see it right in front of my face. Not on camera, right in front of my face. That's what I mean.
A remote shanty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right? Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640. This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditors driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow, and yet in the middle of
See, this is how the hills have eyes happen, though. So you gotta be careful, man. You don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere and coming across stuff like this. When you're, I mean, what if your tire goes out? Then you're gonna get eaten and murdered by a bunch of mutants that got hit by a nuke or whatever.
nowhere, they come upon
I'm just saying. It could happen. I'm just saying.
on a rundown White House. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else, that is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away, while many
Could be somebody homeless and malfunctioning machinery. So it could be somebody trying to find a place to sleep at night, and they found out that that place is abandoned, so they went into that home.
Editors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost. This sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out. He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test. If you're trying to
Yeah, I think that was probably just a squad. I mean, I've slept in an abandoned home before. That was during my drinking times. Like, when I drank, man, I got wild. I got really wild. I'd sleep in abandoned buildings and stuff. It was just dumb stuff I did like that. Anyways, so that's what Chills had for us. I liked the video. I liked this one. This was really good. Definitely, Number 9 definitely messed with me the most. That's all I'm gonna have to say is number 9 really messed with me the most. And yeah, that's about it. Sorry, I'm like zoning out. I'm really tired. Anyways, speaking of being really tired, let me cut out of this and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye. Sayonara. Adios.